5, and we're live. I always thought I was going to be late. But here I is. Man, we look washed out today. How's it look, everybody? Look all right? All right, everybody. There's Callie. I don't know. It looks weird to me today. What do I know? This doesn't look clear. Hey, Giles. Hey, Matthew. Don. The Dean of Sods is here. Todd. Clinton Zilla. Benoit from the great country of Canada. Brad Mullins. I missed a few. Does it look okay today, y'all? If someone don't tell me something, I'm going to obsess over it. Like you say, gonna obsess over it. It sounds like you're obsessing over it pretty damn good there, huh? All right, well, no one's saying anything, so I reckon it's okay. It just looks weird to me. Lydia. Followell Cobb is watching. There's Giles. Giles is fine. Okay, I'm going to take your word for it there, huh? All right. I guess the first thing we're going to do is we're going to wipe the camera off. Is that what it needs? Hold on a second, y'all. I'm going to go through some... Yeah, it's been in my pocket at work, so that might be what the deal is. And you know I'm working class, so yeah, maybe that was it, Giles. I don't know. I can't tell nothing. Until I got a piece of dandruff right there. Okay. Still looks odd to me. We're going to pick up our break on through brews, and we're going to toast a happy birthday and a rest in peace to mighty Joe Young. Break on through. We are also going to hoist our break on through brews high in memory of Algie Ward. Now, I think most of you know him from The Damned, but he was also in The Saints. And the reason I love the guy was because he started Tank. And if you've been listening to Break On Through, you know that Tank is one of my favorites of all time. So, rest in peace, Mr. Ward. You left us a great legacy of racket. Tank is just an awesome band. I know they're continuing without Algie. Algie was the singer-bass player. And you know, last time I did the Break On Through, I forgot to even say anything about, don't forget, you get one more chance to see Anti-Scene before the 40-year anniversary, and that is in Atlanta. June 22nd, opening for Fear. And I don't know if any of you saw the post that Mr. Ving made on the Fear page, but man, this could be it for them. And I heard a ton of people making accusations. Oh man, they must not be selling tickets. But you know what? If that's the case, more power to them. You know how to get the rubes off their ass and buy some tickets. But I think it was fairly genuine. I think it was genuine. And I think there is a looming problem. I hope not. But we are all getting older. Time makes you bolder, even children get older. I'm getting older too. 60 years old this year, people. Can you dig it? You know, it's too bad that I didn't go ahead and declare this cool t-shirt day. I know you're thinking, well, damn, Jeff Clayton, you got all the poison ideas. You ain't but 15,000 of them around. But I'm not talking about, I mean, my poison idea shirt is cool, but let me show you what I got here. I got something I bet none of you sods have. You know why? This superior brain. Yeah. That is what you think it is. That is a Wayne Cochran t-shirt. And if I had it on, I would win. I'd probably win t-shirt of the year. Will's weed eating. Stopping in for a little break on through. Probably drinking a few cold beers while he's out there weed eating. Probably weed eated a KISS logo and all the weeds. I'm going to show you something I got in the mail this week. From my main mang up in Cleveland, Ohio town. Mr. Tom Dark. Some of you may know him from his bands Knife Dance, Step Sister. God, he's had a lot of bands. He's got a lot of real good bands. But this is where it all started right here. This album has just been put out by, it looks like a label called Scat Records. A Scat Record. But this is Tom's first band, The Dark. Now, this is not a reissue. This is a compilation, I think. Got a lot of songs on it. That's some good old-fashioned Cleveland, Ohio punk rock there. That's where Tom got the name Tom Dark. Look at this good shit. Now, on Facebook, he goes by his real name, Tom Aiken. If you're interested in some good old-fashioned Cleveland, Ohio punk rock, you need to grab this, son. That's on Black Boy. Look at all them. There's a bunch of songs on this mofo. I can't wait to hear it. Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much. Let's see what else I got going on here. Man, I got 2 top 10s today. I don't know if I'm going to get to both of them. We'll give it a shot, though. We'll give it the old preschool try. First of all, I want to tell you about something that happened over the weekend. I pretty much know what the next long-haired weirdo release is going to be after Streets Living Theater comes out. I squared this down. You guys know we're talking about Seducer, which me and Tripp just had to sit down at the round table and figure it all out. But also, we're talking about down the road some Hembray. Some more Scott Savage stuff. Some weird shit. But I'm particularly happy for this one because me and the head honcho of this outfit have been talking about this for several years now. And it brings me great pleasure to announce that we... Oh, no, Callie. Now, Judas Bullhead is coming out. The Judas Bullhead Anthology. I'm talking almost everything we have ever laid down on tape. It's probably going to be a two-parter. But that's not it. That's not it. I talked about that. This one's going to be called A Fine Stew. The best of... Are you ready? Self-made monsters. Yep, you heard it here first. You heard it right here on Break On Through first. A best of self-made monsters. A band with a 20-year existence. And I'm going to say this, and Eddie knows, man, I say this to Eddie all the time, but I'm telling you, they have been more prolific in the last, I don't know, 8 to 10 months than they've been in many, many years. But it's because, well, I'm not going to get into the personal stuff, but I'm just going to tell you, they are lean, clean rock and roll machine, and they're doing it to it all day, all night. They're doing it wrong. They're doing it right. And this CD is going to be a compilation of everything they have put out to date. So if you're looking for a starting point, this right here will be it. And it will be indicated as to which songs came off which release. And, you know, you hear some stuff you really dig. Damn, I wish I heard some more of that. You find it, you go get it directly from the monsters themselves. If they still have any. And, but yeah, Eddie and I have talked about this for, like I said, several years. Because I knew I would make a label one day. I thought I would be in a slightly better position to do vinyl more often. But this is going to be another on CD. And it doesn't mean it won't come out on vinyl eventually. Now, the Seducer project we're talking about is going to be straight to vinyl, on vinyl, yep. Well, while we're talking about long-haired weirdo records, let me go over the catalog a little bit here to show you what I've done to date. The first thing was on vinyl. Scott Savage's Memento Mori, a reissue from his very first release in 1978. This edition is the rarest of the two. I got blue and red vinyl. The blue vinyl is the least numbered. There were 190 of these. And I am getting down to a very small stack of them. So, if you want your blue, if you want your red, if you want both, go to the Anti-Scene Big Cartel store. You can get there from antiscene.com. My second release was also Scott Savage related. His band, you've heard me talk about them on here tons and tons and tons. The Streets, live at the Milestone in 1984. That's in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I only pressed 100 of these. And It's well on its way to being out of print. And it's been getting great reviews from the people who have bought it. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the hell out of it. I really do. Look at it. This is a good shite right here. And my third release, Long-Haired Weirdo 003. Now, Kelly, I hope you don't get offended by me saying this, because, you know, offending people is one thing I do not want to do. But this will go in that weird shit category. This is some spoken word, atmospheric, weirdo, hoodoo, voodoo stuff. His first full-length release ever. Callie Hellstrom, The Wolf Within. Look at that great artwork done by my main Mike Harper. And this one's going really well too. And you can get this from two sources. You can get it from me, or you can get it from Callie himself. And if you are one of the first 20 or so people to get one from him, he's going to autograph it all up for you. Now that we're on the subject of Long-Haired Weirdo and Callie, I'd like to say, you know, we put this out. Callie was really excited that it came out on 5/5/23 and on a full moon. But see, he don't realize that, you know, that's part of my precise calculations. Everything I do is with intent. And, you know, I sent Callie his share of the CDs, and it was a joyous occasion in the Hellstrom household out there in Exeter, California. Until, lo and behold, they were issued a 60-day eviction notice because the property, you know, the place they're living had been sold, is going to be sold by the owner. And I've said this before. Kelly says it on the GoFundMe. Kelly's disabled, man. He can't go out and, you know, be in the workforce because of his limitations. And his wife is the only one holding down the job, man. And y'all know how expensive a damn move is. I mean, they're trying to either be the ones that buy the place or find somewhere to go. And they've got less than 2 months to do it. On one person's income. 2 kids in the house. And then this is not asking for a handout. I pushed for them to make this GoFundMe. That was my idea. I told them they had to do it. Because I told them this community that we have here online, through Break On Through Anti-Sing, through all the music, everything, there's a lot of us. And we may not be, you know, swimming in the bread, but when one of our own is in trouble, if enough of us pull together, we can make things happen. And things are happening on the GoFundMe. And I would just like to encourage everyone, if you can contribute anything. Man, I'm talking about $5. You can contribute $5. And if you're, you know, one of these people don't like contributing, I assure you this money will go to Callie's family. This is not some scheme with a damn another something going on, you know. But if you're one of these people, it's like, man, if I spend some money, I want to get something. Well, you know what? If you're interested in the CD, buy it direct from Callie. Because, man, he's in that position, man, where every single dime they're making is going to this. So, everyone that has contributed so far, I really, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. For those of you who intend to, thank you so much. And if nothing else, man, if you could just maybe share it, maybe share the GoFundMe and the story, or send it to some people that you know might read the story and be inspired to help a little bit. So, thank you to everyone out there. Well, I've already talked now for 20 minutes. I don't think I'm going to get both of my top 10s in today. Let me see which one's going to irritate me the most. I heard from somebody who said, man, we like the episodes when you get mad about stuff. Yeah, I imagine it is kind of funny if you're not on the receiving end of it. Let's see. I've been selling a lot of stuff lately, and I have people ask me, damn, Jeff Clayton, why are you selling all you? Well, look, you don't understand how much shit I have. I got a lot of shit. A lot of shit. I got a lot of stuff, man. And I kept stuff going, damn, one day when I get old, this stuff will be worth some money. Guess what? One day came today. Here we is. And man, listen, I'm going to tell you something. If you gave me a record back in 92 and you see me selling it or something, just understand, man, me getting rid of this record doesn't mean that my feelings or my friendship with you is it lessened at all. It just means, I've got my enjoyment out of it, and I want someone else to get their enjoyment out of it. And it's better than it's sitting in a fucking box with a bunch of stuff here, man. You know what I mean? People ask me all the time, hey, man, I'm thinking about selling my Anti-Scene 7-inch collection. But, it's like, man, look. You get those records, you play them, you enjoy them, you keep them in good shape, and you do that because one day you hope to be able to move them for something else you want or need to do. Man, the fact that you hold on to those things and then they become it's like an investment, man. And it can help you get to where you're going or get you out of something you're trying to get out of, that's a compliment to me. So hopefully if that happens, no one will go, damn, Jeff Clayton, you don't appreciate nothing, man. I gave you that 35 years ago, son. Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Man, I'm talking about some of my real valuable shit. And I'm telling you, some of this stuff, it ain't going for nickels and dimes, man. I'll tell you one thing I'm considering selling, man. I've got the original book that was compiled by and put out by Rocky Erickson. There were only 300 copies of it made. And I have one. It's not a reissue. It's not a reprint. It's an original. And it was signed to me by Rocky Erickson. He writes, Jeff, to my double. Rocky. Yes, Dave, it's the opener's book. The white book with the gold embossed cross and peace sign on it. Now, Stephen, I don't know if it's so much a lyric book as it was just a collection of, I guess it was lyrics, but I think a bunch of it was just poems. It wasn't songs that It wasn't stuff like Two-Headed Dog. I think this is when he was, when he declared that he had gone Christian, because he calls his name on the book as Reverend. Rocky Kinerd Erickson. Now, Openers 2 was different. That Openers 2 was the one that Rollins put out, right? On his publishing company. I see. Stephen, you've got the one that Rollins put out on his book company, the paperback. This is a hardback. It's real little. It looks like a religious book, something you'd see in a church or something. But I'm considering letting it go. I mean, damn, Jeff Clayton, but you know what? I've had it. I've literally had it for 30 years. And man, look, the memories of getting it and what we went through to get the autograph and all, I have that with me. That'll stick with me until the day I leave this mortal coil, provided I still have all my facilities. So, I don't know. If that sounds like something anybody's interested in, just let me know. I'm not going to post it online or nothing, man. I figured I'd just say it. But okay, I mean, I need to get moving here. Damn, I've talked a lot. Today, I'm going to give you my top 10 music documentary / films. We're going to keep it in rock and roll. Okay? I think I got this idea from Brad Mullins. Brad, didn't you give me this idea? I got a lot of good ideas. This man, look, you guys keep giving me them ideas. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started, man. My number 10 is a very recent documentary. And I always wondered if there would ever be one on this artist. And there was, and when it came out, it turns out it was fantastic. And I'm talking about the one and the only Susie Q documentary about Susie Quatro. Man, I'm telling y'all, it is fantastic. There's a lot more to the woman than just Happy Days and Stumbling In. I got to tell you that. A lot more. A lot more. Now, number 9 is not really a documentary, but it is a music movie about rock and roll and it's based on truth. Y'all might think, well, damn, Jeff Clayton, you ain't pulling up nothing obscure. I'm just giving you what I think were great movies. And number 9 for me is Almost Famous. Cameron Crowe working for Rolling Stone magazine when he was a kid. And all that stuff in that movie was based on something by somebody. It didn't happen just like the movie, but it was all based on fact. So I think we talked about this on some of our trips when Mad Brother Ward was traveling with us. There's a director's commentary version where he kind of spills the beans on, who actually said this, that, and the other. I think I've never heard it, but I love that movie. Number 8, even though it was made by a damn meathead commie, Spinal Tap. I know a lot of people think, that movie's just silly. I'm going to tell you something, man. You don't know how much of that movie is probably also, it definitely is also based on fact. Every band that has ever toured has had Spinal Tap moments. And believe me, Anti-Scene has had its fair share of Spinal Tap moments. Plus, I liked a few of the songs too, man. I didn't feel the need for there to be another album after it or them to be an actual, touring band, but to each their own. Number 7. The decline of Western civilization. What was that, made in 2023? No, it was made in, the 80s? Yeah. And I'm talking about part 1. They had Black Flag, Fear, the Circle Jerks, the Bags, Catholic Discipline, the Germs. But man, I'm telling you, that part 2 and that part 3, you can keep that shite. I watched part 2 when, Tom O'Keefe and I used to be roommates. And Tom liked a lot of that stuff on Decline 2, man. And I was watching it. This is back in the day of the VHS. I'm at home, man. I can't go out. It's a Saturday night, man. I have got a fever. I got a big bowl by the couch. Because I'm puking. And I'm watching this thing, and man, I am getting furious at how bad these bands suck. I couldn't stand that shit. I don't like that fucking LA hair shit. I know someone said the part with Chris Holmes was gold. I thought it was pathetic. But that's just me. Jeff Martin says Lemmy made part 2. But Lemmy wasn't in it but about 2 minutes, was he? Lemmy and Alice were both in it. But I'll forgive both of them for that. Not that they need my damn forgiveness. But that part 3, good gosh. I couldn't make it through that, man. And they go, but there's a guy in there wearing an Anti-Scene shirt. Well, you know what? I wish that son of a bitch had been wearing something else. I don't want to be associated with that. God almighty. Yeah, Jim, I've seen the Chris Holmes documentary. That was actually good. It's nice to see that he's kind of got his shit together, doing some good shit. I don't know, man. You know what though? I don't like those damn documentaries where they. Let me tell you a documentary I couldn't stand. And I'm sorry, it has people I know in it. It has my friends in it. This guy is a friend of a lot of my friends because I know guys that played in his band. But man, that documentary on Thor, you can tell me, you can sit there and, damn, Jeff Clayton, it was made by a fan. The guy loved the guy. It didn't look like it was made by somebody that loved the guy to me. It looked like someone was trying to make him look like a fool. And I did not appreciate it. Not that I'm the biggest Thor fan. I do like Thor. I do. And yes, it's campy, it's funny and all, but man, the guys, I don't know. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And I'm telling y'all too, I don't like, I didn't like the Wild and Wonderful Whites. You've heard me talk about that before, man. And no, Dylan, I have not seen the new Wino documentary. I can't wait to see that. I think it's going to be fantastic. But yeah, the Wild and Wonderful Whites, that was not a documentary of shedding any positive light on those people whatsoever. It was the equivalent of college kids wearing John Deere caps and Snuckers jelly caps and going out on a night on town thinking they're rednecks. Yeah, I didn't like it. Flint says he's got a copy of it. Flint, my main. All right, man. I appreciate that. I cannot wait to see that. You know, Wino is my main. And I'm going to unleash a fact, a tidbit that has been kept under wraps for nearly 2 years. Are you ready? Can you dig it? Guest lead guitar on Great Disasters, the new Anti-Scene studio album, due to come out before the 40th anniversary, has a Steppenwolf cover on it called Who Needs Ya?, which features Scott Wino Winrich of The Obsessed and St. Vitus on lead guitar. I ain't lying to you. I ain't lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying, and I ain't dying. I'm sitting here trying. It's happening. And the song was originally supposed to be a duet with myself and Scott Savage. But that was never to happen. But in his place is his brother, the Dean of Sods, KD After Dark, doing the duet with me. Well, Flint, you ain't got to wait long, man. I think it's going to be out here within the next 2 to 3 months. That's all I can say. I've been keeping that secret for a long time. I'm not going to make any post about it. But you got to hear it here on Break On Through. If you're listening to the replay, you're hearing some good news. Okay, we're at number 6. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, because I love this band. You're like, damn, why you always talking shit about communism and all that, socialism? But you know what? I love The Clash. And my number 6 is Rude Boy. Man, I'm going to tell you what, the movie is good just for the concert sections alone. The soundtrack is amazing. The performances they caught on film, incredible. But the movie, without the concert, is good too. It's still good. And it shows the main character of our film, the guy that becomes a roadie for the Clash. It shows him kind of taking Strummer to task about the whole socialism thing. You know, he's kind of giving his point of view. You know, like, and you know, they're just going back and forth. It seemed pretty real to me. I know part of it seems like documentary, but I love it. I like to watch it every so often. My number 5, and there's a lot of stuff out there of them, but my favorite is the Ramones' End of the Century. A very honest approach. Johnny Ramone said it seemed pretty accurate. After it was over, he was pretty disturbed. Love it. Number 4. There is a lot of documentaries on this band as well. Matter of fact, I would go so far as to say a shit load. Tons of documentaries on The Who. But man, I'm telling you, for my money, the best one was the first one. When they were 10 years into their career. The Kids Are All Right. The damn thing just flows so good. You know, they don't stick to one thing too long. And then that concert that they filmed just for the documentary to have some current footage is amazing. Now, that concert has been released on DVD on its own, which is great. But that performance of Won't Get Fooled Again is what rock and roll legend is made of. Number 3. And it took forever to see a good copy of this. Man, I was watching copies of this in the mid to late 80s, but they were all bootleg VHS tapes. They were in shit condition. They looked terrible. A lot of them had foreign language subtitles, or they had counters on them, and you know, it looked like the singer was standing there. It looked like there were 4 of them standing there because it's so, you know. But it finally came out on DVD, and it is of my favorite period of one of my favorite bands, the 1973 Billion Dollar Babies tour, featured in Glad to See You Again, Alice Cooper. The performances on that were amazing. Now, my number 2, I'm going to have to mention what probably should have taken its place. Another one of my all-time favorite bands, the Sex Pistols. Now, I guess I'm going to contradict myself here. I think I love the movie DOA. That was the first real film compilation of the Pistols and some of those other bands. And you, like here, you had to go see it at midnight movies and stuff. Man, it was years before it ever came out on VHS, and even longer for DVD. But performances on that are great. The film stock and the film quality makes it look so past tense, even though it was kind of new when it was coming out. I love it. But to me, the reason I put that in my number 2 top 10 is because the effect it had on me when I saw it. And the fact that I can put that on at any time of the day, any day, and watch it from start to finish. I love it. And but I think the better documentary on the Sex Pistols was The Filth and the Fury. So maybe that would be a DOA/Filth and the Fury. Maybe you have a Sex Pistols Film Festival for number 2. Number 1, another one of my favorite bands of all time, of which there are tons and tons and tons of documentaries, movies, concert films, everything of these guys. But what's my favorite? I just watched it recently. And how many times is this watching? I don't know. I had to get a calculator, and I probably still couldn't figure it out. The Rolling Stones. Man, I love the movie Gimme Shelter. That brother team, I don't have their names here in front of me, but I would, to me, they did a fantastic job capturing is what I meant to say, capturing the tension that was going on that day. Now, I'm sure if you were there, it's a little scarier, but, I mean, to tell you the truth, man, I don't like the whole idea of that whole festival atmosphere, especially back then when they were just kind of throwing that shit together and flying by the seat of their pants. To me, Woodstock sounded like 3 days of pure hell. Now, when I was a younger guy, I probably said, damn, I would have went to Woodstock. But now I'm saying I wouldn't go nowhere near that place. I wouldn't have gone to Altamont either. But I'm glad they filmed it. And I don't know, it was really great, to see, because if you know anything about the Stones, they usually toured in 3-year increments. And this was 69, which meant the last time they had been to the States was 66. And at that point, they were not performing with huge PAs, with big banks of monitors and stuff like that. And they were having to kind of learn. Brad Mullen says it checks out. But it kind of showing them getting used to playing like that, the way they would play for the rest of their career, even today. And, a band that I am not fond of in any way, shape, or form was not presented in this enough. But to me, Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead suggesting they have the Hells Angels be security, that was not a very well thought out decision. Dumb hippie. There's a part where it shows them walking up. I guess they helicoptered in. And I guess it's Phil Lesh and Jerry Garcia talking to that young drummer that played for Santana. And he's hipping them to what's going on. I said, Hell's Angels are beating up musicians? Oh, yeah, they beat up Marty from Jefferson Airplane. And then you see Jerry Garcia go, oh, bummer. Bummer. Yeah, it's a bummer. Dickhead. Anyway. Well, that's my top 10. My top 10 rock and roll hoochie coo film review. But I am going to lay down a quick list of honorable mentions. Can you dig it? Like I said, Filth and Fury. Great, great, great. Julian Temple. Also a fan of the band, not someone making it out with some kind of agenda to make the band look ridiculous or something. I don't like those. I know people are just, oh, it's funny. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like it one bit. I would like to also run through a quick list. These are my honorable mentions. If I was doing a top 20, these would definitely be in it. Hopefully it's some stuff y'all have not heard of, but if there's a movie called Ladies and Gentlemen, The Fabulous Stains, which has Paul Cook and Steve Jones and Paul Simonon of the Clash and the Sex Pistols playing in a band. And it's really good. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I do have it on DVD. I would also like to mention, and y'all both think, well, damn, man, we talking about something with Marky Mark, but Rockstar is a damn good movie, man. And some of those situations in that, not as laid out in a humorous way like Spinal Tap or what was it? What was the one the young ones made? The young ones did kind of their own version of Spinal Tap, which is also really good. Could be in one of my honorable mentions, but I can't remember what the hell it's called right now. Come on, David Robb, you're an England man. You can tell me that. Bad News. Yes. Okay. I would also put in there A Music War. That's where me anyway, and my friends saw and heard a lot of these bands for the very first time. Now, some of them I already knew, and the Cramps in that is just off the chart. Just, if you don't like that, you won't like the Cramps. You don't like them. I love them. And, that's where I learned about Klaus Nomi. A lot of other stuff. I can't go through it right now. But is that rock star supposed to be a Rob? I've heard that. I don't know if that's it per se, but also another kind of a rock and roll. It was more of a kind of a horror movie, I guess, but it was also a musical. But The Phantom of the Paradise, great film. It also stars our good friend Janice Blythe. And if you go to her store, she'll sign a picture from The Phantom of the Paradise for you, to you. You just got to go order one. But that's a great movie. And I also want to say, this might have been in my top 10, but I got to tell y'all, man, I'm just about, and you can take this any way you want. At this point, I'm not going to explain and try to make people feel good about it. But man, I'm telling you, I'm about transed out. Trans this, trans that, trans this, trans this. I'm getting sick of hearing it. I don't even want to hear about it. But I did love the movie Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Great soundtrack. Good fucking band, man. Like on there, but good stuff. I could probably think of more. But I know people mentioned the Lemmy documentary. I saw y'all mention man, a bunch of stuff I just didn't even bother watching. I tried to watch the Steve Baders documentary. Oh, Brad, you're right. Hated would be in there. That was really, really good, man. If you really wanted to know something about Gigi, see, I consider Gigi and Merle and all them like my buddies, my contemporaries. I don't think of it, but yeah, that was also a damn good documentary. But I just got to where I couldn't even get through that Steve Baders documentary, man. I got so fucking sick of seeing guy after guy with sunglasses and dyed black hair lighting up cigarettes and acting like they were bored. I was like, man, I can't even sit through this. I don't even care what they got to say. I saw Steve Bader. I saw the Dead Boys. The 5 original Dead Boys. Cheetah Chrome, Jimmy Zero, Jeff Magnum, Johnny Blitz, and Steve Bader. I saw them all. They played the Milestone. I was there. I was one of about, 30 people there? Maybe, if that many. It was an ice storm that night. Snow, ice. I saw them. I saw the Lords of the New Church. I saw Brian James. I saw Steve Bader. I saw the guy from Sham 69. I saw the other guy. I don't give a damn about that documentary. What are they going to tell me? I don't know. I know everything. My other top 10 was about books. I read the book Lords of Chaos and found that interesting, but as far as watching that movie, I simply do not have time. I don't have time. I just don't have time, man. I used to read a lot more. And I wish I still did, but man, I thought as I got older that my life would slow down some. I wouldn't be as busy. Not the case. It's like a fucking roller coaster with the brakes completely off. I'm busier now than I've ever been in my entire life. And don't get me wrong, I'm grateful. I am grateful. And speaking of grateful, I am grateful for each and every one of you for coming and tuning in and hanging out with me for a little bit. This one ran a little long, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got turned on to something maybe you didn't know about. I know my taste nowadays kind of leaning into easily accessible, but my other list was books, rock and roll books, and I'll get to that next week. But I hope each and every one of you have a great rest of your week, a great evening tonight, and I will see you next Tuesday right here on Break On Through.